All right, here we are again. Take two. So I was actually here yesterday at this exact same location around this exact same time filming this exact same video, and the reason why I'm here doing it again is because my audio recorder, this here Zoom PodTrack P4, the SD card wasn't properly formatted. So while it looked like it was recording, the red light was on and the numbers were going, there was no file, and I think I felt a raindrop. Somebody just doesn't want this video to happen, huh? When I was on the way here, it said it was supposed to start raining around 7, and then I pulled up and it actually said it wasn't gonna rain anymore because it's like, what's it? It's like 6:25 now. But now I'm feeling raindrops and the wind is starting to pick back up and it's starting to get a little gloomier out. So that concerns me a little bit. I'm not that close to my car. I'm not trying to get my camera and all my stuff poured on. So if I can get my phone in my pocket. Let me check the weather app again. It said it wasn't gonna rain. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not supposed to rain. It just might be a few raindrops. You know, yesterday when I filmed this video on the 31st, because I wanted to post it by today, the 1st. Today's September 1st. I don't know if you see that. The weather was perfect. The sun was shining through in front of me. I had a nice key lights, nice natural key lights. The bees were out. They were pollinating these flowers. It was a very nice vibe. Today it's a bit gloomier and not as aesthetic as they would say. But hey, man, we're gonna make this video happen one way or another. So it's been a while, huh? It has been a while. March 1st was the last time I posted on this channel. And yeah, lots happened since. And I mean, even prior to that, I was kind of take a little hiatus before that. So I got a lot to catch you guys up on even prior to my last video. We're going into the 4th quarter of the year. Man, flew by way too fast. It flew by way too fast. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling more and more raindrops. Please, Lord, stop this rain so I can film this video and have it posted. I came all the way out here. Please don't rain on me. We're gonna thug it out for now until it gets too bad. Geez, it's like throwing my focus all off. I might have to switch. I'm gonna record this video today one way or another, but I might need to get underneath something. I just needed to make up his mind if it's gonna rain or not. Like, I'm feeling little drizzles, which isn't the end of the world, but I need to know if it's gonna like start pouring because there's no real cover where we're immediately in the immediate area. So that's got me a little concerned. Yeah, it doesn't say there's supposed to be anything coming through, so we're gonna thug it out. Rain or shine, right? Hang on, let me adjust the camera. It's a little bright. As you can probably tell, this isn't gonna be a very polished video. I kind of just wanted to turn the camera on. Forgive me if you catch me looking down here at my notebook, but I got some bullet points written down about stuff that I wanted to update y'all on and talk about a little bit. Because if I don't have it written down, then I'm gonna forget. All right, so let me pick up where we left off at. We left off, and I was working with my cabins clients back in February, I believe. Yeah, that was February, and I posted in March. Prior to that, I mean, I don't really have too much else to really say. I did go back down there in June, and I'm still working with them seasonally. But yeah, that's been good. I do have some footage from the last time I was there, kind of walking through my process of shooting the cabins and capturing the concept. If that's something that you would be interested in seeing, let me know. I just didn't really have the opportunity, or didn't really know what that would look like, me putting it together. But I think there's enough there for me to do something. So if you're interested in hearing a little more about that client and shooting short-term rental, Airbnb, that sort of stuff, drop a comment and try to make a video about it. But prior to that, I didn't even tell you guys about my Florida, or I didn't. I mean, I think I mentioned it on a stream, but I didn't really make a video talking about the Florida project, as I like to call it. So my birthday's in January, so me and my girlfriend went on a cruise. But I couldn't just take a vacation and not try to get some form of work in, right? So I actually connected with a resort down in the Bahamas to shoot some content for on one of the port days of our cruise, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to be able to reach out and land the deal. Like it wasn't paid. I'll just say that up front. I didn't get paid for it. It was just in exchange for free day passes at the resort, which I was fine with. I mean, I've never done anything like that before, so I wasn't really expecting to get paid. Definitely not getting paid anything that would be that super duper significant. So for me, the experience and just being able to say that I did it was enough. I was pretty happy about that. And then coming back from the cruise, we stayed in a tiny home community in Orlando for 2 nights, and we got to stay there for free because I shot some content for the owner, for their Instagram. And again, it was cool just being able to go through the process of reaching out, getting the free stay. Something to add to my portfolio and to say that I've done. So if you want kind of a more in depth video, or for me to just kind of talk about what that looked like, and how you could potentially do the same, drop it in the comments so that I know it's something that you'd be interested in, and I'll make a longer, more thorough video about it. Okay, I wrote down in a really strange way in March and going into April. Um, I lost my great grandma and my granddad and my other great grandma. So I lost my great grandmas on both of my sides, my mom's side and my dad's side, and I lost my granddad, my mom's father. Um, which I'll admit I wasn't really super. I never really had a super tight relationship with any of my grandparents, and I still don't. Something that I recognize I want to have. I think we take our elders for granted, and then when they're gone, it's like, oh, why didn't I spend more time with them? Yeah, just losing those people just was a reminder of how quick life seems to be going and how fast I seem to be growing up. It's so weird how old I feel. I mean, I'm only 22, so it's not really old, but uh, I remember being in second grade. I remember being in kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like, I just I feel like I can remember every single year going by, and to just look back on that and think about where I was and how little I knew to where I'm at now, and I mean how little I still know, how much growing I still have to do. I realized that losing my grandparents and just losing kind of the older generation in my family and in my life like that, it feels like I'm losing my childhood. And yes, I grieve the person, I grieve the people, but I also am grieving my childhood. Now that I'm a young adult, 22 years old, now that I got my own bills, I got my own responsibilities, and um, I have my own life ahead of me. I mean, I always had my life ahead of me back then, but now it just feels more real. You know what I mean? When you're out of high school, and especially when you're out of college, life just becomes so much more real. And yeah, I miss being a kid, man. I said that before in another video, but I really do. I really do. But I also love, the freedom and the independence that comes with being an adult. And that's something that even when I was younger, I remember looking forward to. which now that I'm here, I kind of wish that I wouldn't have been thinking about it so much, you know. But it's not all bad. There are some positives with moving out of childhood and into young adulthood. And one of the things that I got to experience this year was traveling very, very far. I went all the way to Japan in March and April of this year with some of my best friends from middle school. For 14 days, we were out there, and man, what a heck of an experience. I I just remember being there, and one of the things that I just kept saying to myself in my head and even out loud was, "There's no way this is real. There's no way that I'm here." When you're a kid and you're younger and you see places like China and Japan and stuff, places like that, in your textbook or on TV, and you're like, "Oh, I want to go there one day," but you don't really realize it doesn't really become real until you're actually there, and the culture shock and the just how different it is, how different everything was. It's like being in a whole different world, and it really opened my eyes a lot to just how big this place is, man. how much there is to explore, and Japan was just one country out of many. Flying that far away and being that far from home and in a place that was just so different from anything that I've seen before, anything that I'm used to, was it was life changing. Um, and yeah, I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go back. I do have a decent amount of footage from Japan to put together I don't know if vlog is really the right. I really couldn't call it a vlog, because I didn't dedicate myself to really making a vlog when I was out there. I was kind of just filming just to film. I didn't have my camera every single day. A lot of days I just left all my cameras at home and I was just out living, which uh, there's some pros and cons too. Like, I recognize trying to do this creator thing. Like, hey, don't leave your camera at home. You're gonna miss out on something. You're gonna really wish you had it. Uh, which I know better moving forward. And I know it's kind of a meme when Americans go to Japan for the first time and they just think it's like the greatest place in the world. So I'm not gonna take too much time talking about it here in this video. That'll be something separate down the road that'll come out eventually. But yeah, coming back from Japan, my work was still there. Thankfully, I actually landed a couple jobs while I was out there, and I was able to come back to. I filmed a commencement ceremony at a university. I landed some social media content creation work. I was working for an online Christian ministry, which was, man, the work that they were having me do was so easy, and the pay was pretty decent. I'm not working with them anymore. Not on my half. They just decided to shut down the program that they were doing. But hey, I appreciated it while it lasted, because my pockets was a little hurt coming back from Japan. So being able to have a decent month of May was good. It was very good. I'm trying not to draw this video out too long, because, like I said, I don't know if it's gonna rain or not, but I do know I'm gonna lose daylight eventually, and also this audio recorder is at, oh my gosh. All right, well, luckily I have some backup mics that I'll have to use for the rest of this video. Apologies for the decrease in quality, but hey, man, we're gonna make this happen one way or another. We're gonna finish this video out one way or another. Okay, in June I went back to the cabins, which I mentioned already, so I'm not gonna harp on it again. I started getting into Solana trading or gambling, whichever you prefer to call it. Um, that's been an experience. That's been if you know, you know. But Solana Summer was it was good while it lasted, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's how we're looking so far. At the top, I was up pretty pretty good. I thought I was gonna have an extra 50 bands to my name around this time. And it is definitely not looking like that right now. It's definitely not. But it's all good, man. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. For June and July, I did some social media management for a client who, let's just say, has an online education company. Um, and yeah, that was it was a good experience while it lasted, I'll say. But I realized that so I wasn't doing any actual content creation. It was just pretty much managing editors, posting the videos, and just 100% management role, which just wasn't for me. I let them know going into August that hey, I don't think this is a position that I really want to do. Um, and yeah, it was no hard feelings. Um, I think what I learned from that is that it's a lot of value and wisdom in knowing when to walk away from things, knowing when things aren't for you, and having the uh, having the discernment to say to be upfront with whoever it is you're working with and let them know, and not just leave them in a position where you're struggling or you're not really liking what you're doing, but you're still doing it for however long just because. Um, Maybe I'll make another follow up video, sort of telling that story and giving a little more insight to that. But like I said, I don't want you to make this video too long. I kind of just wanted it to be a brief, obviously not too brief. This video is already getting long, but uh, a relatively brief recap over a pretty long, busy hiatus. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I feel like I see some dark clouds moving in, and I just felt another raindrop. So last thing I wanted to hit on, and sort of just put my thoughts out there in this department was I feel like I have a director's mind and just kind of overall vision of the world and of my life specifically. When I'm in that place of being down, being in that funk, being in that depression, being in that uh, just rut, I guess. I kind of I kind of find some not satisfaction, but there's something almost slightly exciting about it in a weird way. I know that sounds kind of weird, but just hear me and see if this makes sense. When the main character of the movie or the book or the game or whatever it is that you're watching or doing, when they're down and you know that they're gonna make it through and things are gonna get so much better for them, it makes the viewing experience much more exciting, right? That's what you're on the edge of your seat for. And I realize with me, my problem is I'll live in that state of being down, being in that ruts because I feel like it's adding more lore and I feel like it's adding more excitement to the story. So I'm kind of purposefully delaying this the climax in a way. I'm purposely delaying that next act because I know that I'm going through a lot right now. It's been a long sort of depressing season, but man, when I flip the switch and when stuff gets better, it's gonna be such a great resolution. Oh my gosh, this rain's picking up. All right, I'm gonna have to finish my thought in the car. All right, so with the audio recorder failing yesterday, it dying today, and then the rain raining me out of my last location, this video, for whatever reason, just seems impossible to make. I'm going to pick up on what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the rain about being having this director's mindset and sort of vision for your life, or at least, kind of what I have for my life. I I live in that space of just watching the second act and feeling like I need to add more lore and build more story by going through those trials and tribulations that will come for everybody. But I think I find some sort of strange kind of satisfaction uh, being in that space because I know that I know me, the main character or whatever is gonna overcome everything in a triumphant and exciting way. And I feel like the more you go through, the more lore, the more challenges that you you can overcome, the greater your story is for whatever reason. Um, and that may or may not be the case, but regardless, I recognize that I keep those director's glasses on for a little too long, um, and that second act starts to get drawn out quite a bit. The the main character being down and out, it's kind of like, all right, well, when's he gonna get it together? You know what I mean? when's he gonna? When's the climax gonna happen? When is he gonna start turning things around? Um, and I realized that while yes, I'm the director and writer of my life, God is ultimately the executive producer. So as much as I wanna plan and I wanna have this perfect vision for my life and I feel like it needs to go exactly how I kind of see it going in my head. Ultimately, he's the one that makes those executive decisions and signs off on the what actually happens. I don't mean to say that like I don't have any say or I don't have any control of what happens on to my life in a day to day basis. I think it's important to take that accountability and take that responsibility and recognize that you are, where you are because of the decisions that you made, prior to this point. When you start to sort of collect the challenges and the depression and the trials and tribulations and all the hardships that you're going through as sort of trophies, that you can later show off one day, that you can later write about in your autobiography. When you kind of just are obsessing over them in a way and finding that pride in them, it's a double-edged sword because you're also becoming more complacent, and you're you're building an identity where you're kind of satisfied in that depression or in that funk or in that laziness in a way because you know that one day you're going to turn around and you're going to be a much better, a much more disciplined, a much more mature person. But you don't have to just live in that and sort of sit in it now. You know, go through it, get over it, and then start becoming the person that you want to be as soon as possible. Leave the stuff that's holding you back in the past. As soon as you recognize that it's there, you should be able to go, okay, that was a chapter of my life that's done. That was a part of me that I no longer want to be anymore. So I'm leaving that behind me. Um, and that's something I had to recognize for myself and not adopt the identity of somebody that I don't want to be. Instead you adopt the identity of the person that you're striving to be, and the person that when you do think about your finished movie, your finished book, or the overall story of your life, think about the person who is on the cover. It's typically never you when you're at your lowest. It's typically the person when they've made it, when they've reached the top of the mountain. Then they can look back on the journey that they came from and talk about it. I hope that kind of makes sense. I didn't really fully flesh that out as good as I would have liked, I think, but um, I think I was able to get the point across as best as I could at this very moment. All right, but I'm losing daylight, so I wanna wrap this video up with kind of a little vision for the near future, for this channel and just for me personally. So I got a busy September coming up. I'm gonna be moving around quite a bit. I'll be in Dayton next week. The week after that, I'll be in Miami for work. Actually, I'll be there for a whole week. And I've traveled to DC for work like 2 years ago. I was only there for a day. I was literally there and back the same day. This time I'll be there for a whole week. You know, they pay for the flights, hotel, all that stuff. So pretty cool. And I'm definitely gonna document that and sort of share what that experience is like for me, for anyone else it's weird. It's crazy, man. Like, being younger and just getting started out, I was looking forward to the day where I get flew out, and they pay, and I don't have to pay for my own flight, or I don't have to pay for my own hotel or anything like that. That stuff is all taken care of, and I'm getting paid to be there. And to see it happening now, in just a couple weeks, is pretty exciting. And the week after that, I'll be in Jamaica again for my cousin's 25th birthday. So me, him, and a lot of his friends are gonna be down there for 4 nights. So expect some content from there. Expect some stories. I'm excited. I'm happy to be back. Happy to have this camera back on. Happy to have this microphone on when it decides to work. But I want to make sort of a follow-up video to this in the form of a Q&A, because I know I've been on this hiatus for a little bit, a lot of it really. But yeah, I think I owe you guys some answers to questions that I don't really have at this moment. So I'm giving you the opportunity to write any questions, comments, concerns, inquiries, etc. down in the comments, and for the part 2 follow-up to this kind of catching up, me just talking to the camera video series, I'll do that. All right, if you made it to the end of this video, then you must see something. You must have gotten some sort of value from it. So if you could, let me know what. Drop a comment, drop a like, share with somebody that might also find some value in it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date and see my next video when it drops, whenever that is. I promise I won't make you wait as long as I did before. But all right, man. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Y'all take it easy.